that this is danger to the nest and we must attack it. We'll talk about that and more fun Yellowjacket Wasp facts while I sketch this little buzzer. So let's just turn the page and get started. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:30 in the morning on a, goodness, is it Monday? Where did the weekend go? Remember like 5 minutes ago when it was Friday? And now it's Monday. Huh. I don't even know how that happens. Anyway, on Monday mornings, I like to do a little thing where I pull a toy from the toy box, a random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier, if you will, and I like to draw it, and I like to talk about it. And this morning's random object from the Random Object Randomogrifier is a Yellowjacket Wasp. Rick nailed it yesterday when he said it was a yellow jacket, but it's coloring. This is a toy from Toy Money, and it's got a lot of detail on it, but the coloring is kind of halfway between a paper wasp and a yellow jacket. But I'm going to run with yellow jacket because it's probably a little closer to that. The toy is a little closer to that. But Rick nailed it yesterday when he said it looked like a yellow jacket. Rick is one of my very good friends. He's in the chat room already this morning. Good morning, Rick. And his wife Pamela. Good friends of the show. Good people. My mom's in the chat. My mom runs the chat. She's the one that tells me what's going on in the chat, because I cannot draw and talk and read the chat at the same time. I believe it's a failure of my upbringing.
Okay, setting the tone for the week.
Setting the tone for the week. My mother's on the phone speaking, telling me that's how she communicates with me, so that I don't have to read the chat. But yeah, we're drawing a Yellowjacket Wasp today. And first off, I love drawing insects. The creepier the better. It's one of my favorite things to draw. That's snails and frogs. Because the creepy things need representation too. It's hard for me to remember that it's a toy sometimes. I want to correct things. Like I know that the wings I can see that the wings are bent and curled down because of how they were packaged. And I want to draw them straight like they would be in life. But part of this challenge is to draw what I see and not what I want it to be. That is part of the challenge. Wasps make their nests out of paper, and they make the paper by chewing up wood into pulp, and combining it with their saliva, and then smearing it into smooth paste where they want the wall of their nest to be. And they've been making paper that way for millions of years, and it's suspected that is where we got the idea for paper, is insects like this, how they make their nests. But they make the paper for their nests the exact same way we make newspaper. What, Mom?
I said there's Miss Pamela.
Good morning, Miss Pamela. We were just talking about you a minute ago when I said that these were my very dear friends. they've been doing it for millions of years, and it's likely that the people who invented the process of making paper got the idea from them, because these things are all over the northern hemisphere, and there's others like them in the southern hemisphere. Wasps have been around for a very long time. This one's a big toy. Usually the toys are smaller than life, but this one is way bigger than life, because these things are only about a ½ inch long, about 1/16 of a ferret, 1/16 of a banana, anything but metric. They're not big at all. Only about a ½ inch long. They can get up. The queen can get up to 1/3 of an inch. They have a different venom than bees have. So you can be allergic to wasps and not be allergic to bees, or vice versa. It still functions basically the same way, just different chemical makeup. See, how accurate do I want to be on these markings? The markings, the accuracy of the markings is sometimes, excuse me, sometimes all you have to tell the difference between whether it's a paper wasp or a yellow jacket.
Time listeners, the feeling is the same. This has become a real highlight of our days, and we often reference you during our daily interaction.
You know, it's funny how much we talk about how much we talk about the show, how much we talk about the visitors to the show and our friends of the show in our daily lives. You know, some of the people on the channel, like Claudia, I'm probably never going to meet in person. But some of you I have met, like Pamela and I have met. You know, I may end up going and having coffee with Pamela and Rick someday, or Joe someday, because I get to Oklahoma once in a while. But it's funny how much we talk about each other, considering that we only know each other for the most part. Now, it's not true with Pamela. Pamela and I know each other in person, but considering how we only know each other for the most part through the internet. 40 years ago, it would be unheard of to say that you have friends you've never met. Alright. I think I'm going to switch to pen. I think I have enough pencil marks there to confuse me. So, I alluded to this during the opening. Wasps have an alarm pheromone. When the nest is under attack, wasps will release an alarm pheromone that tells all of the other wasps that this is danger and that they need to attack. And bees do the same thing. And that is because bees are descendants of wasps. Wasps came first. But bees are descendants of wasps, and they do the exact same thing. If you get stung, it's important to wash the area with soap and water as quickly as possible, especially if you're in an area of the nest. It's important to wash the area with soap and water as quickly as possible. Otherwise, it will attract other other stinging insects. And sometimes it will attract different species. So you can be stung by a yellow jacket, and the sting may attract a bee. So it's
says we'd love to plan some kind of get together and up in the city where we could all meet at the Bridging Pines Winery.
well, wouldn't that be cool? We should plan that. I'm going to have to make a trip to Oklahoma pretty soon anyway. My mother-in-law passed away back in November, right after Thanksgiving. And there's some stuff that my wife has to pick up from her home in Edmond, Oklahoma. And so I'm going to have to make a trip to Oklahoma soon anyway. It would be fun to break up that unfun trip with some friends. That would be quite pleasant. If we met in Oklahoma City, we might be able to get Joe to join us there. But even if we didn't, it would still be fun for us to get together. Especially, that's your son's winery, isn't it? Can't talk, Harding. Okay, where were we? Sugar trade. These guys can't process sugars properly. They can't make their own sugars. They will go out and they will hunt other insects and animals, and they will come back to the nest, and they will feed the protein to their larvae, and the larvae will then secrete a high sugar content liquid that the wasps then eat. And at the end of the breeding season, when the larvae have outgrown that process, then the wasps start going crazy with hunger because they can't make their own. So that's when they start buzzing around picnics and garbage cans and sodas and everywhere they can find free sugars. That's when they start really getting desperate. Late summer, early fall, that's when they really start getting desperate. And then they start dying off.
Pamela says they will be in the city on the 29th to the 30th of this month. And yes, Ken French and his family and the family of his wife own this winery.
Oh, cool. That would be fun. That gives us 3 weeks to plan it too. 4 weeks to plan it. considering today is June 1st, halfway through 2026 today.
Monday, Tuesday.
Is that a Monday and a Tuesday?
End of the month.
Yeah, that gives us a month to plan it. So the first wasps show up in the fossil record about 270 million years ago. At least that's the layers of dirt they've counted, and they've said this was approximately 270 million years ago. It's specifically that three-part body, the flying, the paper nests, the stinger, and the very, very thin waist between the thorax and the abdomen that allows them to bend their abdomen in any direction like they do, so that they can sting all around. Now, bees, when they sting you, they die because the stinger is barbed, and when they pull away, it pulls the stinger pulls off their body and it kills them. Eventually, they'll die because of it. Wasps don't have that affliction. They can sting you multiple times, so they're not suicidal when they sting you. They are, in fact, capable of stinging you multiple times, especially after they've marked you with the terror hormone, with the terror pheromone.
Rose says it's a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and she bets Kent for Sunday would love to show off his aquarium.
Ooh, goodness! I was already sold on the fact that it was a winery. Yeah, I don't know if you know this about me, but I love aquariums. I had a company, tried to start up a company years ago called Aqua Aesthetics, building aquariums. And when I was in college, my every paper that I wrote was about aquariums. So yeah, I'm in. Every paper I wrote, every speech I gave, everything I did was about aquariums. So yeah, that's exciting to me. That just sweetened the pot.
You know, wasp and bees attack your dad.
Yeah, it's because he's so sweet.
Yeah,
I
you're right. Once the first one comes out and attacks, here they all come.
I do not have that problem. I am not sweet.
I don't care. Anything like that attacks him. Here's Adele.
Good morning, Adele. You know what? There's a whole foot up there in the front that I completely missed. Completely missed it. It's obscured. It's coming from behind that head. Right down there. I completely missed that foot sticking out there. It's in shadow. The shadow knows. The shading is what threw me off. There was an extra line there that shouldn't have been there. And it made me realize that I had missed one. Chateauloup, I had missed one. This is my favorite part, by the way, if I've never told you before. This is the part that turns the whole thing into a dimensional object from just lines on the page to an actual dimensional object for me. I probably never told y'all that before. All right. Oh, am I slow? I've got 8 minutes. I've got 8 minutes. Let me dry this real quick. I had a lot of details there I wanted to get in. How cool would this be? Adele, can you get to Oklahoma City on the 30th of June? How cool would that be? We could have a show-wide meetup. I don't expect Adele or Ivy can get to Oklahoma City very easily on the 30th, but how cool would it be if we could get them enticed? What did Pam say? New paper towels, papel de toilette. She said paper towels in French. Let's see here now. We need some yellow. We need some sunshine yellow. I need that ochre out of the way. Some lemon yellow. It needs to be just a little watered down.
Yellow apple.
Yellow apple. My youngest daughter couldn't say yellow, and anytime she would shout out "Lello," but she also used it as a distress call. No, Lello apple. And we stomp her foot, and we still tease her about it. Not nearly as much as I tease her about. We were walking through a hardware store, and she had her little sunglasses on and her little pink fur coat on her. She was styling and profiling. She was out with Daddy, and she walking down the aisle. People walking behind us, and she come to a complete stop in the aisle. Put her little finger out like this. And with her other hand, she reached up and took a drink of her soda. But she couldn't walk and drink at the same time. wish she was a tiny thing then. We still tease her about it though. Yellow apple. In cold climates, these things die back to one queen. One of the younger queens will get fertilized, and she will store the fertilized eggs over the winter while she fills her body with some homemade antifreeze, a type of antifreeze that the wasp creates. And she will hide in a crack or a crevice somewhere until it is warm enough for the eggs to survive. And then she will lay the eggs, and they will hatch and form a whole new generation of wasps.
The girl says it'd be cool if she could go to the U.S., but plane tickets cost you.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's hard. I don't fly anywhere. It's hard to even fly to Oklahoma City. It's expensive. But in warmer climates, like Texas and Georgia and Alabama, these things don't die back in the winter time. And they instead continue to grow a perennial nest, which can have as many as 100,000 wasps in it. And they have encountered nests as big as Volkswagen buses. Because they don't die back. There's no reason for the drones to die off or quit gathering. There's no reason for them not just to lay more larvae to feed them, because they're not dying back for the season. So they just continue to get a bigger nest and get more wasps. I don't know about you, but I'm not too keen on coming upon a wasp nest with 100,000 drones in it. It doesn't excite me. There are more deaths per year attributed to wasp stings directly to wasp stings than any other insect. Now, there are other insects that carry diseases like malaria that cause more deaths per year, but directly causing the death, like through the sting itself, wasps are the one of the top killers. But again, oh, that's cool. That is cool. She does, for those not in the know, Pamela does challenges every month. So like, she was doing frogs. I think she just wrapped up frogs, and before that she did herbs, and before that she did birds. We got to get a move on. It's after 6 and I haven't inked this yet. And I have to go to work today. Get to go to work today. It's Monday. Let me dry this real quick and then we'll ink it. Pamela says in the chat that she had heard somewhere that wasp venom was akin to rattlesnake venom, and that may be true. They're not related though. That would have been, that would have been convergent evolution, obviously. But I don't know. I think they're both. I think isn't rattlesnake venom a hemotoxin, or is it a neurotoxin, or both? I'm not real sure. I was trying to remember. I ended up staying up too late last night watching a documentary about Komodo dragons, and it was fun to watch because we did a show about Komodo dragons, and he's explaining how the Komodo dragon will bite the bison and then just follow the bison around for 3 weeks and wait for it to fall over because the wound never heals because of the anticoagulants in the Komodo dragon venom saliva. And I was like, yep, I knew that.
Rattlesnake venom is hemotoxin.
Yeah. And wasp venom is a neurotoxin, isn't it? Means it attacks the nervous system and not the hemotoxin attacks the blood's ability to carry nutrients. And a neurotoxin causes the nerves to inflame, causes severe pain.
Yeah, lots for neurotoxins.
All right. I think before I call this finished, I'm going to have to darken those shadows, though. I'm not happy with how those shadows stand out.
Dale says there are only so much methods for venom to work, so it makes sense. And apparently rattlesnakes are mainly chemotoxic, but some species have neurotoxicity.
Right. Well, the taipan snake that we did the other day, they had the combination neurotoxin, hemotoxin, and the other one, the mussels. They hit on all three fronts. So yeah, that's better with darker shadow.
Wasps have a neurological effect on Earth hiking.
Right. You feel like every one of their little pointy feet, when it lands on you, you feel like it's stinging you. What is today? Today is the 1st of June. All right. So there is my wasp compared to the photograph. Let's see it. See it from my perspective. There it is from my perspective. So that's what I did today. Adele says, I freak out anytime one gets, but mostly from my cats because they feel the need to catch the spicy sky raisin immediately. Yes, I have dogs that are the same way, or have had dogs that are the same way. Juicy, spicy sky raisins, indeed. Tomorrow, what do we have tomorrow? Oh, the suspense. Thank you, Pamela. Oh, the suspense. What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? It's a bingo ball. Ta-da! That's exciting. That means that whatever it is was too big to fit inside of an egg or a canister, but I have already pulled it. I knew what it was. It's a Phillips screwdriver. We did a flathead screwdriver a couple of weeks ago. This is a Phillips screwdriver. We can talk about how the company, the man Phillips that patented it in the United States didn't really invent it. He got it from Pearson, who made him almost 100 years earlier. And we can talk about the monopoly that the Phillips company had over the screwdriver industry in the early 30s and 40s. We'll talk about all that and more fun Phillips screwdriver facts tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Texas time while we sketch this little tool. So you may want to set your notification bell so you don't miss that. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate this. Pamela, Rick, Adele, Mom, Dad, I really do. Oh, hey, we had Filimo Monregaldo. I don't know how to say that name. I can barely make out the letters because my glasses are too far away from it. But I'm sorry I missed you over there. But guys, thank you so much for joining me. I really do look forward to this when I get to art with my besties. Maybe we can set something up for the 29th to get to Oklahoma City and go see Pamela French's, Rick and Pam's son's vineyard. That would be a fun time. But until then, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. Same Artistic Biker time, same Artistic Biker channel. And we dance. We dance until somebody says they see me dancing, because when they see me dancing, I will know that the lag is caught up with the stream. It will mean that I won't get cut off mid-sentence. It gives you a chance to say hello and goodbye to everybody. Ask any questions that you may have of each other. Click the clicky thingies this way if you're on the horizontal, or this way if you're on the vertical. And I hope that you all have a fantastic